She told her coworkers we were just friends because I wasn't worth explaining. So I told her to be out by month's end. Now she's the one with no career to explain. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account because, well, you'll see why. I've been a lurker on this sub for years, reading all those wild relationship stories thinking, that'll never be me. Famous last words, right? But here I am, spilling my guts about how my 5-year relationship imploded in the most infuriating way possible. If you're into those slow-burn revenge tales where the bad guy, or girl, gets what's coming without me lifting a finger, grab some popcorn. This one's for the ages. Let me set the scene. I'm Jake, 32, working in tech consulting. Think project management for big firms, nothing flashy but stable. My ex, let's call her Sarah, is 30, and she's in marketing for a mid-sized agency in the same industry bubble. We met at a networking event back in our mid-20s, hit it off over shared ambitions, and built what I thought was a solid life together. Shared apartment in the city, joint savings for a down payment on a house someday, the whole package. I was the loyal type, committed, no games. I supported her through 2 job switches, even turning down a better gig last year because it would have meant relocating without her. Flashback to that. I remember sitting in our living room, her head on my shoulder, as she teared up about her dream role. I can't do this without you, she'd said. So I stayed put, worked overtime to cover the bills while she networked late into the nights. Sacrifices, you know? The kind that make you feel like you're building something real. But over the last 6 months, things shifted, subtly at first. Sarah started staying out later for work drinks or team building. Her phone was always face down, and I'd catch her deleting messages when she thought I wasn't looking. I chalked it up to stress. Her agency was pushing for bigger clients, and she had this new mentor, some hotshot named Mark, who she raved about constantly. He's so insightful, Jake. He gets how cutthroat this industry is. I'd nod, ask about her day, but inside, doubts crept in. Why the secrecy? Why the sudden password on her phone? The bomb dropped one evening after I came home from a long client meeting. I'd overheard a voicemail from one of her new colleagues, something casual about a group happy hour, referring to me as that friend of yours who's always picking you up. Friend? We'd been together 5 years. I confronted her gently over dinner, keeping my cool because that's just how I am. No yelling, no accusations. Sarah, why are you telling people at work we're just friends? She paused, fork midway to her mouth, and sighed like I was being dramatic. Look, Jake, it's not a big deal. When I started this job, explaining our whole history felt complicated. You're not in the same circles, and it's easier than dealing with questions about why we're not married yet, or whatever. Plus, Mark advised me to keep personal stuff separate, professional boundaries, you know? I felt my stomach twist. Easier than explaining me? After everything. She shrugged, scrolling her phone mid-conversation. Yeah, it's just work. Don't make it weird. That's when I pushed. Show me your messages with Mark. The late meetings, what's really going on? Her face hardened, but she handed over the phone after a beat, like she was doing me a favor. And there it was, threads of flirty texts, emotional venting about how stifled she felt in our routine, deleted chunks where things got too intimate. He's married, I said flatly, scrolling through the evidence. And this looks a lot like cheating. Sarah snatched the phone back. It's not physical, okay? Just talking. He understands my drive in a way you don't. You've gotten comfortable, Jake, predictable. I need more than that right now. The betrayal hit like a freight train. 5 years of loyalty, of me putting her first, reduced to easier than explaining you. I sat there, staring at my plate, the room spinning with confusion. How'd I miss this? Was I really that blind? But even in that moment, I didn't lash out. I just nodded, processing the unfairness, the way she'd manipulated our life into something disposable. That night escalated into the breakup talk. We were still at the kitchen table, dishes untouched, the air thick with tension. Sarah leaned back in her chair, arms crossed, looking more annoyed than remorseful. I could have yelled, demanded answers, but what was the point? The damage was done. Sarah, I said evenly, if this is how you feel, if I'm just some complication you hide, then we need to end this. She blinked, like she hadn't expected pushback. End it? Over some texts? Come on, Jake, you're overreacting. Mark's just a mentor. We talk shop, vent about work. It's not like I slept with him. But you've been deleting messages, lying about meetings, telling people I'm a friend because explaining our relationship is too much hassle. I kept my voice steady, laying out the facts without heat. That's not respect. That's betrayal. She rolled her eyes, letting out a scoff. Oh, please. Respect? You've been coasting on our routine for years. I deserve someone who pushes me, who matches my ambition. Mark sees potential in me that you don't even notice anymore. And yeah, maybe I downplayed us at work because, I don't know, it felt freeing. Like I wasn't tied down. You're always so safe, so boringly reliable. I need excitement, Jake. Growth. I felt the words like slaps, cruel, twisted logic that painted me as the villain for being committed. So, hiding our relationship makes you feel free? Emotional cheating with a married guy is growth? Don't call it cheating, she snapped, her smugness cracking a bit. It's emotional support. He listens without judging. And his marriage? That's his issue, not mine. You're twisting this to make me the bad guy because you can't handle that I've outgrown you. Admit it. You're jealous because he's successful, married or not. Jealous? I echoed, still calm. No. Hurt, yes. But if this is your justification, blaming me for your secrecy, then fine. You can have your freedom. She laughed bitterly. See? That's exactly it. No fight, no passion, just resignation. Mark would have argued. Shoni cares. Maybe, I said, standing up slowly. But I'm not him, and I won't beg you to value what we had. The conversation dragged on for another hour, her cycling through excuses. It's the industry's fault. Networking is everything. You're too sensitive. We can work through this if you try harder. All laced with that dismissive tone, like I was a child throwing a tantrum. She even pulled the classic. If you loved me, you'd understand why I need this space. Finally, I cut through it. Sarah, this isn't working. I want you to move out by the end of the month. I'll handle the lease transfer. Keep things clean. She stared, mouth agape. What? Just like that? No screaming, no trying to fix it? You're really going to let me go? Yes, I replied simply. If I'm not worth explaining, I'm not worth fighting for either. She packed a bag that night, muttering about how cold I was, and crashed at a friend's. The next day, she posted some vague story on social media about embracing change with a coffee cup emoji, subtle shade, but I saw it for what it was, public dismissal. She moved out 2 weeks later, taking half the furniture like it was a business transaction. No tears from her, just smug confidence that she'd upgraded. Walking away from that kitchen table, I felt numb. The apartment echoed without her, empty drawers, half the closet bare. I didn't chase her, didn't text begging for closure. Instead, I sat with it. The confusion hit hardest in those first weeks. Why me? I'd been the rock, the one who planned vacations around her schedule, who celebrated her promotions with homemade dinners. Flashback to our 3rd anniversary. I'd surprised her with tickets to a conference she wanted to attend, even though it meant dipping into savings. You're my biggest supporter, she'd whispered then. Now, reduced to a footnote she hid from colleagues. The unfairness gnawed at me. Nights blurred into staring at the ceiling, replaying her words, easier than explaining you. It stung, 5 years erased for convenience. I questioned everything. Was I too predictable? Did I miss signs of her pulling away? Friends checked in, but I kept responses short. We're done. Moving on. No details, no venting. Dignity was my anchor. I wouldn't stoop to her level. I threw myself into work. Picked up extra projects. Hit the gym at dawn. Therapy helped too. Twice a week. Unpacking the manipulation without bitterness. She gaslit you into feeling inadequate, my therapist said. It clicked. Her twisted logic wasn't about me. It was her escaping accountability. Slowly, the vulnerability faded. Confusion gave way to clarity. I wasn't broken. I was free. Months ticked by in silence. No contact from Sarah. Fine by me. I heard whispers through mutual contacts. She was thriving, with Mark, posting about late-night strategy sessions. It twisted the knife, but I didn't react. Instead, I focused on rebuilding. Landed a side certification in advanced project management, networked on my own terms. Life stabilized. New routines, casual dates that didn't stick, but hey, progress. Then, Around month 4, hints of karma surfaced. A colleague mentioned offhand, "Heard about that mess at Sarah's agency? Some internal drama." I didn't pry, but pieces filtered in. Mark's wife had found out, screenshots, emails, the works. Divorce papers flew, and Sarah got named in the filings for alienation. Her job? Gone in a flash. HR cited ethics violations. Word spread like wildfire in our tight-knit industry. Blacklisted from top firms, applications ghosted. Friends distanced themselves. Her reputation tanked from rising star to homewrecker cautionary tale. Meanwhile, my composure paid off. At a team meeting, my boss pulled me aside. "Jake, we've got an opening for senior consultant. Your handling of that personal stuff, professional as hell. Promotion's yours." Suddenly, I was interacting with execs who'd heard the scandal. "Respect how you kept it together," one said over coffee. It felt earned, not vengeful. I wasn't gloating, just moving forward. The silence from Sarah stretched to 13 months. I changed numbers, blocked her everywhere. Life evolved. New apartment, travel for work, a sense of peace I'd forgotten. Internally, I was transformed, from that gut-punched guy to someone clear-eyed, calm. Her betrayal? A lesson, not a scar. I was emotionally free, building a future on my terms. That's when the universe decided to balance the scales. It didn't happen overnight. Karma's patient like that. About 6 months after she moved out, I started hearing the rumors through the grapevine. Our industry isn't huge. People talk, especially at conferences or over LinkedIn chats. A buddy from a partner firm mentioned it casually during a virtual meeting. "Hey, Jake, you hear about that blow-up at Sarah's old agency? Messy divorce involving some mentor type. Wife went nuclear." I didn't dig, but details trickled in. Turns out Mark's wife had stumbled on the evidence. Those same flirty texts Sarah thought she'd deleted, plus some emails that painted a clear picture of emotional affair territory. The wife filed for divorce, citing alienation of affection, and named Sarah directly in the proceedings. It wasn't just personal, it spilled into professional. Sarah's agency caught wind. HR investigations, ethics reviews. She got the boot within weeks, labeled a liability. Word spread fast. "Don't hire her, drama follows." Blacklisted from the major players in marketing consulting. Firms that once courted her now ghosted her resumes. Friends in her circle? They scattered, siding with the innocent, wife, or just avoiding the fallout. She ended up crashing with her parents, scraping by on freelance gigs that barely paid the bills. Meanwhile, my life was on an upswing. That promotion I mentioned? It came with travel perks and a team that valued stability. I'd present at industry panels, and inevitably, someone would pull me aside. "Heard about your ex's scandal. Man, you dodged a bullet, handled it with class." It wasn't schadenfreude on my part, just ironic justice. Her easier path, hiding me, chasing the mentor, led straight to isolation and irrelevance. I didn't gloat. I just kept building, joined a running group, took a solo trip to clear my head, even started dating someone low-key who appreciated the boringly reliable me. The confusion from those early months? Gone. Replaced by quiet gratitude for the escape. The first crack in her facade showed up around month 9. I'd unblocked her old number for practical reasons, some lingering mail forwards, but ignored the initial text. "Hey Jake, it's Sarah. Been thinking about us. Can we grab coffee? Miss our talks." I deleted it without replying. Dignity, remember? But she escalated. A week later, a voicemail. "Jake, please. Things aren't what I thought. Mark was a mistake. Call me." By month 11, the attempts ramped up. She showed up at my new apartment unannounced. I'd moved to a quieter building across town. I opened the door to her standing there, makeup smudged, looking smaller than I remembered. "Jake," she started, voice shaky. "I know I screwed up. The job loss, the divorce mess, it's all blown up in my face. I was stupid, thinking Mark understood me. He ghosted after the papers hit, left me to deal with the fallout alone. Friends won't even reply anymore. Can I come in? We need to talk." I stood in the doorway, calm as ever. "Sarah, there's nothing to discuss." Her eyes widened, desperation creeping in. "Nothing? After 5 years? I was wrong about everything. You were the stable one, the good guy. I see that now. The industry blackballing me. It's unfair. Help me network, or just be there? I need you." "No, I said flatly. You made your choices. She shifted to pleading. Please, Jake. I'm living with my parents, scraping by. Remember how we supported each other? I supported your career too. Supported? By hiding me at work. I didn't raise my voice, just stated facts. Tears started then. That was dumb. I was influenced by Mark's crap advice. But we can rebuild. I miss you, us. I shook my head. Goodbye, Sarah. Closed the door softly, locked it. She banged a few times, yelling through the wood. You're heartless. After all I did for you. But I walked away, poured a coffee, and let it fade. Her family got involved next, toxic as hell. Her sister emailed first. Jake, you're being a jerk. Sarah's suffering, lost her job because of that creep. Family sticks together. You owe her for the years you leached off her ambition. Leached? I blocked the address. Then her mom called from an unknown number. Young man, Sarah's heartbroken. She told us everything. How you overreacted to innocent work stuff. Come to dinner. Fix this. We raised her better than to beg, but you're forcing her hand. Unpleasant doesn't cover it. The guilting, the revisions of history. She deserves better than your cold shoulder. The mom snapped when I didn't engage. I hung up mid-sentence, blocked that too. By month 12, Sarah's texts turned angry. Fine, ignore me. But you're pathetic, hiding behind silence. Mark was right, you're boring. Enjoy your lonely life. Hypocrisy at its finest, her true colors blazing. I didn't respond, just archived and moved on. Her desperation peaked, but my peace held firm. The final nail came at the annual industry conference, 13 months post-breakup. It was a big event, panels, networking mixers, the works. I'd been invited to speak on a panel about project resilience, fitting irony. I arrived suited up, confident, chatting with colleagues who'd become allies. Spotting Sarah across the room hit like a ghost from the past. She looked worn, hovering on the edges, clearly there to network, but getting side-eyed stares. Our eyes met. She beelined over during a coffee break, cornering me by the exhibit hall. Jake, she said, voice low but urgent. Didn't expect to see you here. Congrats on the promotion, I heard through the grapevine. Look, I need to explain. The whole Mark thing? It was a fantasy. His wife ruined me, named me in the divorce, tanked my career. I'm blacklisted everywhere, can't even get interviews. Friends abandoned me. It's been hell. But seeing you thrive, it made me realize what I lost. We were good together. Can we start over? Or at least help me out? Introduce me to some contacts. I sipped my coffee, detached as a stranger. This was business now, professional courtesy at best. Sarah, this isn't the place for personal discussions. Her face twisted, a mix of hope and panic. Then when? I've tried reaching out. Texts, showing up. Your silence is killing me. I was wrong, okay? Dismissive, smug. But I've changed. Learn my lesson. You owe it to us to hear me out. Oh, I echoed calmly, setting down the cup. No, our chapter closed when you chose secrecy and betrayal. I've built a new life. Promotion, travel, peace. You're irrelevant to that now. She grabbed my arm lightly, desperation peaking. Irrelevant. After everything? I'm begging here. Help me rebuild. We can be friends, or more. Don't be so indifferent. It's cruel. I stepped back, polite but firm, like wrapping up a failed pitch. Cruel? This is closure. I wish you well in your endeavors, but our paths diverged permanently. Focus on your own growth. Mine doesn't include you. Her eyes welled up, hypocrisy clear as she stammered. You sound so cold. Like I mean nothing. You don't. I said simply, genuinely indifferent. The power flip was evident. She desperate, me thriving, colleagues glancing over with knowing nods. I turned, walked to my next session, leaving her standing there. No glance back. That encounter sealed it. She's a footnote now, powerless, beneath the life I've earned. If there's a moral, betrayal burns, but dignity rebuilds. Thanks for reading, Reddit. Feels good to get it out. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.